Hello and welcome to our corner of the internet. My name is Maraghost, and today we're going to be unboxing the iPad mini. The iPad mini is a bit of a weird device, and I wondered who it was really for. But as I was using my older 2018 11-inch iPad Pro, I realized that I don't really need the power of a Pro tablet. I do intensive tasks on my MacBook because of the desktop apps, the enjoyable typing experience, and the larger screen. I use my phone for quick notes, capturing ideas, photos, video, and referencing information. My iPad Pro was something that I really had to fit into my workflow, and it was more of a nice to have. It was like Apple was pushing me to replace my MacBook with an iPad, yet restricting it by not supporting the device with desktop-grade apps. It was personally a really confusing message. So I had to really think about what I personally want to use an iPad for, what I want to use a tablet for. For me, it's lighter tasks, entertainment, web browsing, reading, social media, referencing my to-do list and calendar, photo editing, and the occasional handwritten note, all in a lightweight, portable package. Enter the iPad mini, a seemingly perfect solution to my dilemma. However, it's not without its sacrifices. So yes, going from the 2018 iPad Pro to the 6th gen iPad mini will ultimately result in some downgrades. No Face ID, a 60Hz refresh rate, smaller screen, but hopefully this will all be worth it for its compact size. Some use cases I have planned are editing small batches of photos, sitting on the couch watching YouTube, reading articles or browsing the web, referencing scripts when recording, written notes for university, using it as a sidekick for my laptop, and checking my calendar and tasks throughout the day. All things that were hard to do because of the size and weight of my old iPad. This should hopefully fill in the gap between my phone and my laptop. One thing I really appreciate about the new iPad mini is that it does come with USB-C, which is awesome, much preferred over Lightning. Whether you like Apple or not, I really do think that they do unboxings really well. Their unboxing experience is really premium and adds to the feel of their products. I was really happy with how the iPad mini felt in the hand. It was very dense, but felt premium and lightweight at the same time. I really don't think that the camera does it justice, but the iPad mini, for me at least, was much smaller in person. I really do appreciate that. So if you're curious, I went with the 64GB model in space gray, only Wi-Fi. I know that for a lot of people that's going to confuse them, but for me on my old iPad Pro, I never really had a storage problem. And I also use iCloud to store all my photos, and I don't have too many apps on my iPad, so it really wasn't too much of a deal for me. I also picked up Apple's Smart Folio case in the black color because I just wanted some protection on the front and back. I'm usually pretty careful with my tech, so I didn't need anything too crazy, but I did want something to protect from scratches. If you've ever used the Magic Keyboard for like the iPad Pros and the iPad Airs, it has a very similar texture and feel to it. The case is of course a perfect fit and snaps on easily due to the magnets on the back. So I did keep my Apple Pencil from my old iPad Pro, so we won't be unboxing that, but I do have it and we'll be attaching it in this video. Although I'm not an artist, I am a student and I do use the Apple Pencil to take notes. During the summer though, I really don't use it that often. Sometimes I'll use it to just jot out ideas or to make simple sketches of products and things like that. Alright, so now that the tablet is unboxed, let's go ahead and set this thing up. I'm super excited. So one of the things I was really worried about from switching from the iPad Pro to the iPad Mini was going down to a 60 Hz refresh rate. And I will say you really do feel it. Going from a 120 Hz refresh rate down to a 60 Hz refresh rate is a pretty harsh downgrade. For me though, for what I'm using the iPad Mini for, it's not too bad, but it is kind of a big deal for me at least. I will say, I thought that not having Face ID was going to be pretty rough, but I really do like Touch ID. I like that I don't have to hover my face over my tablet in order to turn it on and unlock it. So usually when switching devices, I try not to transfer over my apps and data, only because I like to start fresh and it keeps the storage a lot better because I don't have a lot of apps that I'm not using. So I find that that's really helpful. So I've had the iPad Mini for about 24 hours now, and it's really fitting into my lifestyle pretty well. So we'll see how it stands the test of time, but for me it's perfect for when I'm sitting on the couch and I'm watching YouTube, scrolling through Twitter, things like that. Also, referencing my calendar and my to-do list are super easy, and I love having the larger screen. And of course, you know I have to add the Apple Pencil. I just love how seamless the integration is. So there are a few core apps that I need to use my iPad for. I'm not going to go through every one, but one of them is Todoist, which is just a to-do list. The other one is Notion, which is what I use to plan all of my videos. Photoshop for editing photos. I also use Affinity Photo as well, really depending on the mood that I'm in. Also, Darkroom is great for having filters or changing the colors in a photo for me when I don't need something as intensive as Photoshop or Affinity Photo. Obsidian is my new go-to note-taking app. Pretty much it allows you to make links between your notes and it's super helpful. YouTube Studio for managing my channel, Spark for managing emails. I really love Spark, you guys should check it out. Twitch for entertainment, watching streams, Discord, Twitter, and Reddit, of course. I use Muse for mood boards and vision boards, Procreate for sketching up thumbnails and things like that, GoodNotes for taking notes in school, and MindNode for making mind maps. I'm also installing all of the Google stuff just because I'm still somewhat integrated in the Google ecosystem. So here I'm just going to start to customize my home screen. This might not be the final rendition, but it should be good enough for me to get a start. So here's how I have my home screen set up so far. So on the top left is going to be my calendar widget, and then on the top right is going to be a smart stack with email and to-do stuff. I've got on the bottom my most used productivity apps, and then after that it's at a loose order with the second row being like entertainment and then photo editing, and it's really loosely organized, but it makes sense to me. So I really love Todoist because it's a great lightweight to-do list app with features that don't really get in your way when you don't want to use them, but they're available to you when you need them. They also have some gestures that I believe are customizable, but you can kind of swipe left to multi-select and swipe right to change the due date of a task. As I said earlier, Notion is what I use to manage videos, pretty much writing notes, having the shot list, all of that stuff, just compiling all of my video ideas. It's really useful for that as it's like a really easy to understand sort of database, I guess. That's the best way I can describe it. At the top, I have my up next videos, and then at the bottom, I just have all of my video ideas that I've got. The calendar app that I use is just the standard Apple Calendar, nothing really too special, but I like the integration in the ecosystem. And yeah, not much to say, I just like how it works. So I'm by no means really great at Photoshop, but I do know how to do simple things like masking and stuff like that. So I do like to use Photoshop for making some thumbnails, but other than that, I don't really delve into it that much. I use Affinity Photo for pretty much the same thing as I use Photoshop for. It really just depends on what mood I'm in. Usually I use Photoshop the most because I'm more familiar with it and it seems more user-friendly, but as of now, I think Affinity Photo has more features. So if you're looking for something more feature-packed, I believe right now Affinity Photo is the way to go. And then Darkroom is what I use to just change the colors on photos. It's a really lightweight photo editing app that's really user-friendly and easy to pick up. So Obsidian is like my second brain, and this is what I use for all of my thoughts and things that I kind of want to link together and reference later. They have pretty good search functions, and you can also, like I said, link thoughts together so you can find connections and form new ideas. It's pretty cool, I highly recommend it, but it does require a little bit of learning. So Muse is like a spatial canvas. I've highlighted it before on the channel, but pretty much you can like insert photos and create like mood boards, you can draw on photos, and it's really great for making collages and kind of compiling visual information, I suppose. By the way, I hope you appreciate this cat. Muse is pretty gesture based, so they have a lot of intuitive gestures that you can use to kind of control the interface, and I highly recommend checking it out. It does have a free version that you can use. It'll give you a free amount of cards, but after a while you might need to upgrade. So Procreate. Procreate is a really popular iPad app, and if you've been looking into iPads and the Apple Pencil, you probably know about it. But I feel like it's directed towards artists, but I love it for creating like sketches and ideas, maybe for products, or maybe if I just want to draw a thumbnail or something like that, I'll use Procreate for that. So MindNote is an app that I don't use too often, but when I do, it's super helpful for really just getting your thoughts in order. So if you're trying to make a mind map and kind of link together ideas around a central topic, I really think that MindNote is super helpful, and I think it's free. It's pretty fully featured on its free version, and if you want to upgrade, it's really not necessary, but I think there are some extra features that you can use. So GoodNotes and Notability are like the two titans of note-taking on the iPad other than Apple Notes, and I like it. I think it's great. I much prefer it over Notability because of the UI and organization. And of course, I had to include YouTube because I use YouTube to watch videos all the time, and I don't know how I would live without it. Thank you guys so much for watching till the end. I really appreciate it. If you found the video helpful or useful, I would appreciate it if you gave it a like, and if you really loved it, then I would appreciate it if you subscribed. I think you'll like it here. Anyways, if you want to see more of me, you can follow me on Instagram at MorrowGhost. But that's all. I've been MorrowGhost, and I'll haunt you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Here we go.